Welcome to Ask the Pro. I'm Chris Dufay, and this is where I'm here to give you what's needed to create the online business, the money, and importantly, the freedom that you want. The Ask the Pro show has been upgraded, and it's also got a new home, which is turningproacademy.com. Now, if you go to turningproacademy.com, all the podcast episodes, video episodes, and in-depth articles are there waiting for you right now. Plus, if you go to turningproacademy.com/start here, then you can get access to the free coaching guides. So if you want to know how to double or triple your clients in just a few weeks, or if you want to know how to start and grow your online business, be sure to go to turningproacademy.com/start here to get access to it now. Welcome to Ask the Pro. I'm your host and your coach, Chris Dufay, and this is where I'm going to give you what's needed to create the online business, the money, the freedom, and the life, and the positive impact that you want to make. Now, this episode, the tables are turned. I'm actually getting interviewed, and I wanted to share this with you because I have just been interviewed by Nathan Savage of the Breakaway podcast, and we wanted to share this with you here because this really delves into a lot of stuff that I haven't really shared before. This is what's gone on, how I've become the person I've become, how and why I'm sitting here actually right now doing this for you, and how I've had to go from finishing school, how I found my way, why I got into the fitness industry, why I became a personal trainer, and what steps that was, and becoming a personal trainer at the very start that was completely struggling, to building a personal training business, literally traveling the world and being able to build multiple personal training businesses, to now running multiple online businesses and sitting here in my office here in Bali and really making sure that I want to give you the best next steps for what you need to take. So I hope you really enjoy this interview where I open up. Nathan asked some really good questions into delving deep into where I've come from and what are the big struggles I've had to go with and conquer through. So I hope you're able to put this into action for yourself. Obviously, avoid all the mistakes I've made and make sure that you follow through with the things that work as well. Now, if you are loving this, then please make sure to subscribe, because I don't want you to miss out on all the episodes that are coming up with the experts and the solo sessions. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a beat, and to make sure that you get the most out of you being here. Click on over to Chris Dufay, that's chrisdufay.com/start here. This is really important because this is where you're going to be able to take the quick quiz. You're going to be able to find out, depending on what you want to do, there can't be a cookie cutter answer for everyone. So that's why I set up this quiz, to find out where you're at, where your business is at, where you're at in your career, and obviously where you want to go. So we can then bridge the gap and you can get access to the free coaching guides that are going to do that. So whether it's you want to start or grow your online business, whether you want to be able to double, triple your clients in just a matter of a few months, or whether you want to be able to have a bigger impact by building your fitness business as well. So go to chrisdufay.com/start here to be able to get there. Now, before we jump into this episode, if you haven't, because I know you're going to be keen in the fitness world, make sure you tune into the My Body Blends podcast. This is where I really dive into the fitness, nutrition, the training, supplementation. That's where you're going to be able to get the insights to really make sure that you become better, not only just taking care of your body and your health, but you can do it for your clients as well. So do join me over at the My Body Blends podcast to be able to get more. So let's jump on straight into this. I hope you put a lot of what I'm about to delving into action. I also really unveil a couple of books that have made a huge impact on me as well. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you after this, and because this is all about what you can put into action.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Breakaway podcast. I'm here with my good friend, Chris Dufay. To give you guys a little bit of a breakdown on who Chris Dufay is a health and fat loss specialist and a business mentor that gives you the confidence and exact next steps you need to achieve the body or lifestyle you want. An international speaker, author, father, health nut, and ice cream lover, he lives with his wife and daughters in their home in Bali. Though it may be nice if it wasn't, the expertise and real-world know-how Chris has today is from, Is it? I think what I'm just gonna go ahead and do. I'll just go ahead and do it beforehand.
You're sweet, brother. You're sweet.
Sorry, I really want to make sure I can kill that down
That's all
and get
good.
that down perfectly, so I don't kill you off with that. So fantastic. So we'll go ahead and hop into this. And also thank you, Chris, for being on the podcast today. It really means a lot to me. It really means a lot to our listeners. So and go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit to me on the podcast. Tell us who you are.
All right. I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a friend, I'm a son, I'm a physique coach, I'm a business coach, I am an author, I'm a speaker. I do a lot of things. I'm a dude that is enjoying the adventure of life at the moment, and a big part of that adventure involves me wanting to build businesses that creates a really good impact in different worlds. My strength is obviously coming from a physique coach. I got people in great shape, whether it was from mums, dads, executive CEOs, politicians, bikini models, actors, even Arab sheikhs. Everybody. So I've got some good experience, but now I'm talking to you because I'm been living in Bali for 2 years now with my family, and totally blown away with the lifestyle that I live. Totally blown away. I literally have days. So every day I'm like, whoa, I live here and I do this. And because for me, I became a personal trainer when I was 18 years old. It was my second job. I only really had one job out of school. And I loved it, and I just kept wanting more because where I came from, I was a really overweight kid, and I struggled with that. I struggled with binge eating, overeating. I was always athletic. I was always great at sports, and that was something that held me back. So anyway, my own transformation physically got me spurred to then help other people do that. And then I started my business coaching and my business mentoring because I went through the transformation of what I call being stuck in the time for money trap. So I was in a gym and I would only earn money if I was seeing my client face to face. So I was living and working in Dubai a few years ago before we came here to Bali, and really, I was just slapped in the face time and time again because every day I was waking up at about 4:30 in the morning. I would get to the gym for my 6 a.m. client. I was busy. I was running a great personal training business. I was chockers. Had a full client list. I was charging an absolute premium. Like from the outside, everything was good. Like I was a successful trainer, but I hated it. Like I started to hate it because I would have to race home to try and give my daughter, my first daughter at the time, the bottle to go to bed. And some nights I would miss out on that and she'd be asleep. And I'd be like, I haven't had time with my girl. This is not the man I want to be. This is not the dad I want to be. This is not the human being I want to be. We need to change. So anyway, my wife, God love her, she's great and she's my rock. But she was like, all right, we're out of here. We've got to move. And I just started the online business, like kind of getting some content out there. I was dabbling at best, and then really, you know what? I don't know what happened in between there. Somehow I'm running 2 businesses online now.
Only 2, right?
Only 2.
No.
There was actually 4, but I actually, at the start of the year, I cut 2 off. I burned them down.
Really? Do you still have actual gym locations?
No, I don't do any face-to-face work at all.
Wow. Okay. Well, before we hop in a little bit more to that entrepreneurial side, I want to jump back a little bit and talk about kind of like your roots and where you're from. So tell us a little bit, where were you born and raised at?
I was born in Sydney, Australia. I was born in Hornsby Hospital, but I was really like where I grew up was Manly in Sydney.
Mainly in Sydney? Wow. So what did your family life look like growing up?
My parents were 17 years old when they had me. So I've got really young parents and they're awesome. I have a great relationship with them. They're phenomenal human beings and I love them dearly. So I saw that they sacrificed a lot for me because obviously they were so young when they had me. And I've had some deep conversations with my parents, obviously as an adult, as a father now myself. Yeah. And they were like, you know, I mean, people said this wouldn't work, all this kind of stuff. And so we didn't have a lot of money growing up. Like it wasn't like it was dire straits poor, but at the same time, we really didn't have a lot of money. Um, and there was something that spurred me that I always wanted to be able to give my family, and I always wanted to have more. And I think that's something that's underlying in a fire in me right now that gets me to do what I do.
Absolutely. Now, would you say that was probably like one of the biggest obstacles you have growing up? Kind of like the whole idea of maybe having to get over. Like, I know that whenever I was in high school or in school in general, for the most part, most of the kids that had parents that were like that, that had to sacrifice a ton, they didn't get near as much as most of the other kids. Or maybe they had to go through some other kind of experiences to where some of the kids, like for example, the guy I'm working with right now, his parents came through the same situation. Sometimes he didn't even get to shower a lot. So what were kind of like some of the huge obstacles you had to overcome while you're growing up?
Growing up, obstacles, I think selfishly, my weight, like being overweight, held me back a lot. Um, I don't think there was any like huge obstacles that really held me back. And I don't know. I'm very grateful for everything that I've been through, and I would
Yeah.
never have changed a thing as well.
Do you think it molded you quite a bit?
100%.
So that's awesome. So I guess to hop into this a little bit before we really hop into entrepreneurship, how did you, find the fitness and like what was that entire journey like for the most part?
Because I was always athletic, I always played multiple sports when growing up. I was always good at sports and really enjoyed it. Then I kind of like, so when I finished school, I landed a job that was managing a warehouse, and it was the world's
Ooh.
shittest job. But anyway, I was super young, and I was managing people that were much older than me. And I was kind of like thrust into this position because I could handle it. And I don't know, the
Yeah.
owner of the place must have just thought I could actually do a good job. That only lasted for 9 months. When I first finished school, and then as I got this job, I started to hit the gym. I started to go to the gym because I was like, all right, I've got to get in shape.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I did. I started to get in shape. I started to work. Lo and behold, eating well and lifting weights actually does something. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, can't believe that. But I really enjoyed it, and I knew I couldn't do what I was doing at that job. And so the thought of a personal trainer was something that really hit a heartstring with me. That was like, yeah, I could do that, and I think I could. I think I'd be really good at that. So I quit my job. I became a barman, and then I started studying to become a personal trainer. And what actually had to happen was I actually got the job. I think I was kind of forced into it, but I was the cellar man. So I'm not sure. Do you know what a cellar man is for a bar? So he's the dude that carries the kegs around and like hooks everything up. So anyway,
Wow.
I was the only dude that could actually pick up the kegs. So hence why I got the job. And so I was the cellar man from about 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then I'd get the bar ready to start because it was like a bar and restaurant as well.
Yep.
And then I'd be a barman from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then I'd go and study to become a personal trainer during the night. I did that for a while to get everything up and running, and then I started as a personal trainer.
So how long for those initial days, or how long did it initially take you to get that personal training business started off? Like, how did you get your first client?
That's a very good question. So I started working in a big box commercial gym. It was in a Fitness First, where it was actually my own business. So you're working in a facility, you're paying the facility to be there, and you are not taught how to get clients. And you kind of like, suddenly you walk in, you've got this uniform, you've got this certificate 3 and 4 in fitness saying that you're legally allowed to start training people. And then it's like, now what? So I had to hustle my ass off, and I had to start essentially giving value to people, helping people, and giving them the clear next steps that, hey, coming on board and me as your personal trainer is the best thing that you can be doing for you to get the results you want. And God, luckily, I started actually picking up clients, and it grew and grew and grew. And then I grew a personal training business. I had multiple trainers working for me in Sydney. Wow. I even kept that personal training business running when I moved to Dubai as well. And then, yeah. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a split with so much more for you. Now, I know you're listening and tuning in because you know how important your health is and how this can also catapult your business. This is why I'm very happy to say that this podcast is sponsored by My Body Blends and my favorite, the superfood elixir, the powerful greens drink. Now, this is designed specially to boost energy, aids detoxification, enhances the ability to burn fat, supports healthy carbohydrate metabolism, and best of all, is voted best tasting greens drink. Now, myself and the My Body Blends team are looking for ambassadors to join. So you and your clients get the health benefits plus adding in a strong income stream for you and your business. The ambassador program, which is by application only, means you get exclusive access to sell My Body Blends products like Superfood Elixir to your clients, plus giving you the special ambassador pricing and bonuses. So once you become an ambassador, you can join the other top health and fitness players that are adding thousands to their week's income. Now, there is only a limited number of ambassadors we are taking on board, as this is a tribe leading the way together. So to apply and to join, go to mybodyblends.com/ambassador or add the checkout code that is Turning Pro, all one word, when you're going to get your own superfood elixir to order. Plus, you're going to get free shipping and a bonus to save yourself over $250 instantly. So just use that coupon code Turning Pro in the checkout and you can save over $250 right now, all on mybodyblends.com.
Wow. So what was it like for like those initial days of starting the business? You know, I remember growing up, you see all these Gary Vaynerchuk quotes, right? And you see all these different quotes and people like to say like, oh, I'm hustling, right? And most people for the most part like don't really know what it's like to legitimately have to work their ass off to start something up like that. What were your days looking like? Was it like 17, 13-hour work days?
Oh, that was a long time ago. It was a lot of work. I would say I've hustled a lot harder with my online businesses now than I did for starting off, and it's
Wow.
definitely been a progression. Um, like I agree though with what you say. A lot of people say they hustle, and I don't think they do. But also on the flip side, I feel like hustle has been turned into something that's a bit of a fad. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, look at me, I'm hustling. Where I'm like, no, you're a douchebag. You're working too hard and you're busy. And like what Tim Ferriss says, busy is a form of laziness. And so
Yeah.
there's a pendulum here. We've got to be smart about it. Yeah, you've got to work your ass off, but at the same time, you've got to be really smart about it. And this is something I actually do a lot is, all right, sit down. What do I need to be doing? Is there stuff that doesn't need to be done? And what is going to get me the best results as well? And when you start really piecing that together, that is when you can go, like, I feel like when I get clarity on that, I will run through walls because I know exactly where I need to go to. And my hustle is a smart hustle.
So like kind of finding like detailed things to do rather than kind of aimlessly walking around.
Totally. Like I feel they're doing Instagram, they're doing Facebook, they're doing Facebook ads, then they're trying to pump out a video, they're doing a podcast, and they're doing a blog post, and there's like all these 100 million things. So I'm like, well, what are you good at? What does your potential customers and clients need? How are you actually going to turn what you're doing into dollars?
No, so I love that. Everyone listening right now, I think that's probably one of the biggest takeaways so far. We're already into this call, maybe 20 minutes. One of the biggest things is you could be so scatterbrained. You know, I have a lot of friends who will start off and they'll try to do some kind of side hustle and get it going, and they literally are all over the place. It's kind of like the one thing by Gary Kellerman.
Oh,
Find the
100%.
one thing, yeah, find the one thing you know that is going to get you that next step and do that one thing. Don't go all over the place. Put 100% of your effort into that one step that's going to get you from A to B. So a quick question, like, did you always have this, entrepreneurial drive, or did it develop later on in life?
So technically I've been an entrepreneur since 18, though I never saw it that way. I never even knew the word, to tell you the truth, when I first started. So I've always worked for myself since being 18 years old. I remember my dad telling me maybe in my late teens, maybe I was like 16, 17. Um, if you ever really want to achieve, you're going to have to do it yourself.
Wow.
And it was like, and it's funny because he obviously works for, so like he's an electrical
Yeah.
engineer. So like my parents were not entrepreneurial,
Yeah.
but that hit home. I think it didn't hit home straight away. It was a seed that was planted that grew for me. And it was, okay, I have to do it myself. I have to take responsibility and I have to work for myself. I have to start my own business. And I've always enjoyed the concept of business and being able to create value and how that value is just bartered for dollars. And that entrepreneurial drive, I think, started from there. And there's also, I think it's a Zig Ziglar quote. And my dad actually said this to me as well. He actually wrote it down. I remember seeing it. It was, you will achieve what you want when you help others achieve what they want.
That's right. That's actually exactly right.
Right. Okay. So thank God I didn't butcher that.
Yeah.
But that I still remember in my mind's eye, I can still see when I first saw that. And that was like, that makes so much sense. Like, isn't that how simple business is? Do something that creates some value and then you get some dollars in exchange for that. Like, shit, people make it too hard for themselves.
I love it. That is really simple. It's something that I love a lot right now. One of the my previous guests that I had on the show, he was actually he just got today Canada's, I think, Young Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yeah.
And one of the funny things is he actually said the same thing. I asked him that quote. And I was like, when did you always have the entrepreneurial spirit? And he's like, to be honest, I didn't even know what that word meant until like a year and a half ago. So I love that though, guys. Make sure you're bringing a value. Like whenever you're trying to think of maybe some kind of side hustle, for the most part, it can be simple as starting off mowing lawns. If that's what you need to do to get maybe the extra $200 to $500 in the door, try to do something and bring a ton of value to people and share it and tell everybody about it. I'm sure that when you first started personal training, were you telling everybody about transformation stories, or how did you really grow that business through those, I guess, that value?
It kind of relates to exactly how I build that online fitness business now, is to show people what they need to be doing right now. So in total of what I do content wise, I run 2 podcasts myself. One is business, one is fitness. I've just launched a new YouTube channel and there's about 160 videos on that after a couple of months. There's another one so one's business, one's fitness. And I wrote my business book and launched that about 3 to 4 months ago. Killer reviews are coming back from that. Like I was getting tagged in Instagram of dudes reading my book on the beach, and I'm like, what? That happens? That's me? That's my book? Yeah, crazy. But it's the exact same thing. Give people help. Like I don't think there's any need to make it any harder. Someone wants to lose weight, or someone's in a gym and they're looking confused. So you could be like, hey, Nathan, look, like, what are you trying to achieve? You'd be like, I want to build some muscle. But, okay, awesome. I see you doing a bench press here. Like, all right, like, let me show you how to do it better. Let me show you how to actually activate the muscles that you want. Do you know what I mean? You go through that process of helping them. That's what content marketing is.
I love that. It's so simple. And guys, make it that simple, especially like there's no point in complicating it. Now, he did mention all those resources of things that he's done. I will have everything in the show notes. And if you're confused about where to find those, you just go to the website. He has phenomenal information everywhere. And you guys should definitely be listening to both of his podcasts if you want any kind of help, whether it might be in your fitness or getting that side business going or anything along those lines. So, talk us through a little bit more about that first personal training venture. And, what was it like for you? Was it scary at all? Like the first couple months of you starting that, did you find any success, or did you barely scrape by paying the bills? Did everything pick up fast?
Do you want to be honest?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I remember the first 3 days, I was shitting myself the entire time and I did not sleep. Did not sleep. I was like, what? Can I curse?
Yeah, go. You're good.
I was like, what the fuck have I done? Like, Chris, you are an absolute. Oh, anyway, but you get through it, and that's what this is what we need to be able to do, and that is something I look for often. Is that scares me. Do I want to do that? Like, do I really want to write and publish a book? Like, that's big. Like, oh my god, just do it. Like, And like, where is it? Here, Ryan Holiday's book, The Obstacle is the Way. Like, you read this and you're like, oh my God, okay, it is what I should be doing. Like, this isn't that hard. I just need to execute on it. But you've got to be smart about putting yourself in the right position. Like, look, so the move that I did from being a personal trainer, running my personal training business in Sydney, to then moving to Dubai and starting a personal training business. My wife, we found out that my wife was pregnant with our first child 3 days before I took that opportunity.
Wow.
And so when people say like, oh, like you got to do it before you have kids, or like there's excuse is what I hear from so many people holding them back. And it's yourself is holding you back. And this is where it can be so much easier because when you start that venture, it's going to be hard. You're going to be confused, but find out what you need to be able to do, align yourself, model success, and then you just need to start working through it every single day. Like when I first started, it was get on that gym floor and talk to and create as many relationships as I possibly can. And it was scary because I look back now and I was like, I was a kid, like I was a child doing that, but good on me for having a crack because it's obviously led to something good. And that can flow in any type of business.
Growing up, did you have anyone that tried to really tell you, like, who do you think you are trying to start all this, or anybody try to pull you down or say, you can't do that? Because it seems like you went off and
happens every day.
How do you deal with that for most of these people that are listening? I know that, for example, my parents, like you said, nothing from an entrepreneurial background, and most people just can't understand that. What advice would you give the numerous listeners listening that are saying, hey, I'm pulled down every day. How do I just ignore this and keep going?
I'm pretty sure my parents still don't know what I do to the full degree, but they've always been supportive. So it's not like that, but they still, I'm pretty sure, like working on the online world, you're like, what? It's probably easy to say you're a drug dealer at the end of the day.
There you go. Wasn't that Tim Ferriss that wanted to call his book the drug dealing? The title of the 4-Hour Workweek was originally
that's right. It was too. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See, it's just there. How do you get around people saying like you shouldn't be doing that, or why do you think you're going to succeed, or all this kind of stuff? You've got to have faith in yourself, and that's scary. But at the end of the day, just like anything in life, you have to take 100% responsibility, and no one is going to get it done for you. You have to do it yourself. And that's scary at the end of the day because it's like, oh shit, the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And that weight is, what is it that you want out of life? What is it that you want to achieve? What do you want to experience? Who do you want to become? Well, guess what? You've got to build it. Do you know what I mean? Because everything that you're having in your life right now is only because of what you've done before. It's the seeds that you've planted that have grown. It's the actions you've taken that have gotten you to where you are right now. So if someone says, well, why do you think you can do that? You're not good enough. Or okay, especially in the context of this conversation right now and with your listeners, people are wanting to start an entrepreneurial journey. They're wanting to start a business, and they're probably held back because, you know what, our parents might not be entrepreneurial. Well, my parents weren't entrepreneurial, at all. Don't think that you've got to be spoon-fed this stuff. It's just simply learning what it is that you need to learn. And at the end of the day, it's having faith in yourself, because I know I want to achieve this. I'm going to take it. Is it going to be a perfect path of me executing actions A, B, C, which is going to get me to that result? No, the shit's never going to happen. It's going to be a lot harder than that. There's going to be ups and downs, and it's a roller coaster. This happens all the time, but it's okay because you become a better person through it.
No, I honestly, I love that. That's probably one of the things I've noticed the most is, everybody, you're going to have those ups and downs. They're going to be so dramatic, and it's going to be so all over the place, especially with you might be starting a lawn business, or you might be starting a moving business, or God forsaken, they make the online personal training business or something along those lines. You're going to be fired a lot. There's going to be a lot of people that say, they don't want the service anymore. And there's a lot of people that are going to say you can't do it, but you just persist through it. I love that. And Chris is a testament of what happens when you're just persistent and testament all the way through those things. So A real quick question, a fun, applicable question that anybody could use. I love asking. I actually have an ongoing little, a little fight between all my guests so far about who has the best answer to this. So I'm excited to see it. If you had $25, how would you turn it into 250 by the end of next week? And what would you do?
Probably buy myself a good lunch and just produce some sort of content for free and put that out in the world and bring people in.
Okay. I like that. So what would you do example like? Like, would you try to do an online fitness deal or what?
For me, I know my strength is online fitness and that's where my forte is. So I would literally shoot a video for free off my phone and post it for free and be able to connect with people around the world that are influential in that space for free. And then I would be able to start attracting people for free to what I'm doing. And then I can get them on board and sell them the product that I will create later.
I love the simplicity of this. Honestly, it's awesome. Let's go into the last little question before we all hop on the phone. I call them the fourth quarter questions. You know, what is the number one book recommendation for first generation entrepreneurs?
Oh, I'm looking at my bookshelf and I like recommending books to someone that's specific to them. So a broad, like general strokes is hard for me. I would say something like Think and Grow Rich or Psycho-Cybernetics, something more in the mindset field that would be getting you set up, because that at the end of the day is what someone needs to grasp to then be able to use strategies and tactics to work.
Actually, love that answer. That's a great answer. What is taking you further in life? Would you say it's hustle and hard work or talent?
Hard work, for sure.
By far. Okay. What is your favorite sports team?
Honestly, I don't really follow a sports team.
What?
Yeah, I'm being 100%. I would be like, I'd follow. I honestly don't. And because I've been living around the world, I've been like influenced in watching so many different sports and everything. And like, okay, being Australian, I could be like, no, I honestly don't.
That's fantastic. What sports did you play growing up?
Soccer, cricket, football. I played everything. I played badminton for a little while.
Badminton, that is fantastic.
I literally played everything.
That's awesome.
For myself, like with my own training, I do obviously a lot of weight training, a lot of physical conditioning, kickboxing, and some yoga every now and then, and surfing and stuff like that. But yeah, sports wise, I'm not into it. I'd rather do something else.
That's understandable. All right, if you could give the Breakaway family any advice, what would that specifically be?
Get 100% clear on what it is that you want, and then take action on that every single day.
There it is, guys. And that's by far just like the one thing by Gary Kellerman. If anything, read that book, and especially like he said, the obstacle is the way. Finding that one thing, finding that one goal is so big. You're not aimlessly wandering around in the dark at that point. Like, you have an end goal and you have a mindset for it. So, I would like to thank Chris so much for coming on. If there's anything else you'd like to say or anything.
It's a really good point that you say there, Nathan, because say the one thing, I think I've read / listened to that book 3, maybe 4 times now.
No joke.
And it's every single business client that I take on board, the first thing that we do is get crystal clear on what's your business model, what's your unique selling proposition, like what is the market that you're actually trying to attract, what is it that you're actually, getting really clear on all those things, because I think that's something that so many people are missing. And then once you are clear on that, you can take decisive action, and that's why we get such quick and impactful results on it. But it's simple, and that's what I want to be able to bring through with this.
Guys, I'll make sure to link up everything so you can go talk to Chris specifically. And if you have any questions, feel free to email him. I'll have everything in the link below. Make sure to go check out his information. He's a smart guy for a reason. He's built numerous businesses. He has a damn fitness empire, for God's sakes, for a reason. Go check this out. Go get a hold of this guy if you have any questions, or if you have any questions about starting personal training up or anything like that. He would be probably one of the top guys to talk to about getting one of these businesses up. So, it was great having you guys. If you guys need anything, feel free to ask, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much for being here. And if you've liked this episode, please share it out and make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out. Now, to really get the most out of you being here, go to turningproacademy.com/start here. There you can get access to the free coaching guide. So if you want to know how to double or triple your clients in just a few weeks, or if you want to start and grow your online business, be sure to head on over to turningproacademy.com/start here to get free access to it now. And as always, I'm so thankful for you being here, and I'm really looking forward to you joining next week in the new episode.